2 kids held back in 8th grade. Did you have kids held back growing up? And I remember thinking, that's not a thing. Like, cause I had a 0.0% in one of my classes in middle school, and they were like, "You have potential, Will Palmer." And Meeson at the time before I got adopted, and I'm like, "All right," and like they just passed me. And so I remember thinking, like, I fucked around this class all year, and they just passed me. And so when these kids got held back, I'm like, "What did you do? Did you like stab your teacher? Like, what did you do to get held back?"
Yeah.
And I think it was like, from what I talked to, even with like Benji and like how he evaluates like stuff like that, it's, I think it's more of like what you show, I guess.
Test scores.
Well, I would do good on tests, by the way. I just wouldn't do, like, I wouldn't turn anything in.
So that's what it was, because you didn't do your.
Yeah.
And you get a daily, like, you get a daily points every day. Like, at least on my school, we got the daily points for every day that you did an assignment. So if you missed all those points for that week, you're already down 10. And then you take the test, which that's going to help you, but it's still not going to replace that 10. So if you keep missing 10 and 10 and 10, then eventually.
But I should have had a 0.
But you shouldn't have a 0, though.
I did have a 0. I had a 0 in middle school. Her name was Miss Massey. Like, I remember this straight up. Like, and it was a 0. And I did good on the end of the year test.
What school did you go to?
Zia Middle School.
Miss Massey. That sounds familiar.
She, and I hope maybe she's a listener. No, and I respect it, but it was in my biological family. It was before I got put in foster care. I had no interest in school. Like, I liked school. I was very smart. I was very on it. I just didn't want to be in that class. And I was recently talking, I'm very close to my adoptive family now, the ones that adopted me when I got into high school. And I was telling them recently that I would skip classes. And I think we were talking about like were you like, was the school hard? You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Wasn't. There was a couple of kids in one class that I had. I was in an advanced class that I shouldn't have been in. I think whoever books the classes like booked me in the wrong class, because I wasn't like, I didn't test into that class. Like, I think they just put me in an advanced class, and like I didn't catch on to it. So I remember the first day of school. This is my sophomore year at Nyate, and I'm the new kid because I just transferred from Cruces, and I'm in this class, and it's like senior like literature, like a reading, and they're all talking about this stuff, and I remember looking around the class, and everyone's like, like they're all into it, like that. Like, yeah, they're like, that's rather shallow and pedantic. Yeah, they're using words I ain't heard of yet.
You're like, get me out of here.
I just remember thinking like, fuck, like I should know this stuff. I felt dumb, and I was like, I didn't know that I was in this class that I shouldn't be a part of. And these like, there was like this nerdy white dude that had these like 3 chicks talking to him in the back. And they're like, oh my God, like I love Walt Whitman or whatever, like one of the poets. Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't even fucking know who that is. Yeah. Like, and then these girls are like into him. And there was like a weird nerdy moment. And I remember thinking like, God, like I've outlived my stay. Like I just don't know. Like I'm so far gone, I don't know this stuff. And then one of the dudes in the class started making fun of me because I didn't know like some basic writing stuff. To them, basic. To me, I'd learned it yet. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I know that shit. Like, it's just like my ego. I just don't want to tell you. Like, it was just one of those moments. And then I just started skipping that class because I'm like, fuck that class. Like, so I would go in the stalls and I'd fall asleep on the toilet paper holder. Like, I would just go there and like lay my head down. And then I would just sleep. And then I would go to my next class. That's how it started. And then it turned into the next class was pretty bad. And then I would just skip school altogether because I'm like, why do I go there? Like, if I'm going to miss
why even show up?
I was too smart for this literature class. So my like survival instincts kicked in. And so I just would stop going. And then my foster dad found me one day walking on the side of the road. I think he expected me to have like drugs or something on me. I was like, I had my backpack. I was just like clueless. I was all sunburned. I was fucking white as shit.
He's like, what the hell are you doing?
I almost wanted to lie. I'm like, I'm doing drugs. Like, but I really was just like this nerdy kid that thought he was too dumb for his reading class. Yeah. And I was just like walking around and I had nowhere to go. Like I didn't have any friends. It was a new school. And he like took me back. I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to get in there. And I just left again. And we were talking about it recently as an adult. And I was like, I just felt bullied in that class. And then I ended up going to the class because they made me. And then they were like, you shouldn't be in this class. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, finally, someone who gets me. And they're like, this is a senior class. And I'm like, that makes way more sense. Like, yeah, and they put me in my actual class. And then I started going to class again. But like, I look back at that and I laugh. But it's like, I just literally remember, like, I didn't put it together. I think a normal person would have been like, oh, like, I'm in the wrong class. But I was just like, fuck me. Like, I'm just like, these guys are just better than me. Like, I'm a dud.